Eighteenwild is in the building, about to hit y'all with another 18 Wild reaction. Today, we gonna react to Jamal Casey. He's a lawyer. Um, Go check out his YouTube channel. He's a real lawyer, and this lawyer is breaking down um, Dirk Banks' Fed case and what type of stuff is Little Dirk is facing. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing this reaction because I said I'm doing stuff that resonate towards me, and Lil Durk is from Chicago. So, yeah, man, we gonna get the real spiel and not just from the information from the fake blogs and stuff like that. Because I'm pretty sure the lawyer has direct knowledge and he knows some of these things. So I'm trying to give you a professional outlook and not from a blogger standpoint of view, from a professional lawyer. So we gonna jump into Jamal Casey. Go subscribe to his channel if y'all haven't subscribed to his channel. He's a real lawyer. He's breaking down the Dirk Bank case. So yeah, we gonna hop into the content. If y'all want to know something about Dirk Banks, here we go right here. He hopping into the content. So let's get into it.
Trial in less than a month. It's been a long time coming. He actually was arrested back in October of 2024. So he's going on almost 2 years of being locked down in a federal detention facility, basically awaiting trial. There's been a ton of evidence that has been turned over from the government to the defense, and there's going to be delays in a case where of this magnitude with this many defendants on trial and the seriousness of the offenses. It's not out of the ordinary for a case to take this long to get to trial, but this is a major fight. This is a fight for his life. If he's convicted, then he's essentially facing, life without parole. And that's why he was denied bond every time. So, the factors that the judge are taking into consideration are if you're a flight risk and if you're either a danger to the community or danger to potential witnesses. And so if you're facing the rest of your life in prison, then the flight risk factor is going to be through the roof, right? Because if you're able to get out of custody and you're facing life, like why would you come back, right? If the judge has to take as true the allegations set forth by the government, then you're alleged to have essentially orchestrated the murder of somebody. And so if you're facing life, then if you get out, then you just have really no incentive to come back. And so, the thought is that you'll get out of custody and leave the country and just never come back to the United States, right? Well, rather than spending the rest of your life in prison, right? So that's why flight risk is an issue. And then in terms of danger to either the community and or potential witnesses, then the same thing. I mean, if you're facing a charge for having orchestrated a murder for hire, then you're going to be considered a danger. You're going to be considered a danger to the community in general and a danger to any potential witnesses, right?
Yeah, man. Okay, so all this stuff is unfortunate. Dirk Banks, everybody know that he fighting his Fed case. Um, yeah, man. For him to be such an influence, influential rapper from Chicago, uh, do I want to see him come out from under the situation? Yeah, I want to see him come out from under the situation just because you can't too much change the past. And I think like if Little Dirk is really repentant of what he has done in his past, I think he should really get a second chance if he gonna come out here and do some good, man. But he gotta prove that, man. You know what I'm saying? He gotta beat them charges first, and then when he come out, he gotta prove that he was about peace for real, and he just wasn't flogging because he knew he was gonna get locked up. But I'm really hoping that he does come out from up under it. I don't wish jail on nobody. So yeah, let's get back into what the lawyer was talking about.
That said, obviously, Lil Durk has pled not guilty. He's considered innocent, right? He is innocent unless and until he is proved guilty, and that has to be proved beyond a reasonable doubt. And that's the purpose for the trial. So let's talk about motive. See, motive is not something that the prosecution, in this case, or really in any case, that they have to prove. Like, motive is not an element to any of these crimes. But motive provides the reason for which a person would be inclined to do something, right? And so we know that what it comes down to is there was a hit out on Quando Rondo, right? And
Allegedly.
that hit was, they tried to carry that out, right? They missed, right? So they didn't hit Quando Rondo. They ended up hitting his cousin. Cousin ends up dying. But still, it's still considered, murder for hire because even though they didn't hit the intended target, they ended up killing somebody in the process, and so motive ends up being
My condolences goes out to the Pad family. Uh, Nobody should have to go through that. But whether Lil Durk goes to jail and gets sentenced, uh, or whether he comes out from under it, you still got somebody, you still got some dead people, and if he had to face them charges, he gonna have to face them charges, man. He, I, I don't know what to tell you, because I know a lot of people want to see him come out from under it, but you know what I'm saying. You gotta go. You can't just go off these blogs and what the blogs be saying all the time. Oh, he gonna get free, he gonna do this. Man, sometimes you gotta go off of real professional insight. You feel what I'm saying? Cause ain't none of the bloggers lawyers, but here go a lawyer. You got a lawyer right here that's giving you professional insight of what's going on. Let's get back into the content.
important, right? And so this all links back allegedly to King Von, right? King Von obviously ends up getting killed after an altercation with Quando Rondo's crew, and Lil Durk was alleged to have said, "Hey, I can't let this slide," via text message. And so when you think of "I can't let this slide," the only real reasonable interpretation is, that you're going after revenge, right? And in context, that makes sense, right? This was your boy, this was your brother. He ends up getting killed, so it's natural.
Hey, I just want to say one thing though, man. Just because you talking tough on the phone, man, that don't make you. You know what I'm saying? Killers are the killers anyway. You feel what I'm saying? They go do their dirt in the street anyway. You know what I'm saying? Just like you got tonight in Chicago, today you got some person on the south side, killing people, dumping people in garbage cans. So this what I'm saying. It's a world full of sick people. You feel what I'm saying? So you could say Lil Durk did something, but guess what? You also got the griminess and the grit of Chicago streets that anything can happen to anybody out on these streets, and you'll half the time some people be doing stuff and totally getting away with it. You feel what I'm saying? Cause if that's the case, they'll better caught this rapist that's out here raping people on the south side, dumping them in garbage cans. So you feel what I'm saying? It's very tricky. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Saying that a rapper might say, you know what I'm saying, heard something back, his guys got killed in his hometown. He said, "Oh man, I can't let this slide." You know what I'm saying? I can't let this slide might mean a lot of things. You feel what I'm saying? He might was talking about I'm finna turn up on the rapping side. I'm finna get the dissing hard as hell. That could have been that. You feel what I'm saying? So saying little words that the feds be trying to break down. They don't be knowing the true intent behind some of the words and some of the slang that be going on. They could just take one definition that somebody might have used that slang word for, but they can't say what he used it for. You feel what I'm saying? He could have been, oh, man, I can't let that slide. You know what I'm saying? That be it. This bad. He might be, I'm going to turn up the diss and I'm finna really wreck them out the game. I'm finna really try to blackball, you know what I'm saying, whoever I'm trying to blackball out the game. That's where his mind might have been at. You feel what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? The feds gonna take it how they want to take it.
That you would want to get revenge, right? And so there's also allegations that after that there were communications about a hit being put out on Quando Rondo, right? And so the prosecution's position is that just a couple years later that he actually made good on it, right? So they planned out this hit and they ultimately executed, but they just failed in their attempt, right? And so the result is this shootout that we've all seen this the video at length of you have the white BMW, the white Infinity following the black Escalade that Quando Rondo was in, and they obviously end up at the gas station and they end up doing what they do. So the motivation.
See, people don't like the real insight. See, sometimes you can have all the facts. And people like lawyers and people that know how to pull paperwork, they go get all the facts. That's why they could be able to put together a detailed story of the situation. And we just only taking the facts, right? Because that's what you want. Because you know what I'm saying, you don't want to accuse this man off assumptions, which most YouTube or platforms kill people off of assumptions automatically. You feel what I'm saying? So this is a good thing that a lawyer is coming out and speaking on it and giving you some insight. You feel what I'm saying? So y'all can take it how you want it. Uh, Sometimes it be bored, but see, this what real bored journalism work is. Going back, doing research and doing all that. So when you put out your story, the story won't be bogus. And it won't be putting in nobody in no negative light. You know how many bogus stories that people put out on this guy right here, Nolan Wales. You see Nolan Wales right there on the screen. You see this man on the screen, Nolan Wales. You see him on the screen. You know how many fake reports and all type of blogs that came out and just like muddied this case up. You feel what I'm saying? His parents having a hard time trying to find out what's gonna be real, what's real and what's not. But if they just focus on the facts, they can't go wrong in it. If they focus on the facts, they can't go wrong.
The motive, right, for carrying this out is revenge for King Von's killing. I mean, so then you have the paper trail, right? Obviously, the flights were booked using an OTF linked credit card, and that's probably not ideal, right? If you're going to do something as serious as a murder for hire, you probably don't want any financial transactions that are going to link back to you. Not saying that you should ever engage in something like this, and in fact, you shouldn't. But if you do, you shouldn't use a credit card that's linked to you or one of your companies. Also the hotel.
And this and I'm really doing this for my college students because even though this is like some out the wall ghetto stuff, and you should be I know you might be far removed from it, it's still a case. It's still something that happens in society. No matter how dumb the case may be, you know what I'm saying? You still got a professional lawyer giving you a breakdown on what the demo is in Little Dirt case. You feel what I'm saying? Professionally. Doing it with nothing but facts. You feel what I'm saying? and not putting hearsay and nothing, no fluff. That's what it's hard for people to do because guess what? They want to go viral. They want to go viral. So they might put something in there that might be far fetched or false or hearsay so they can hype the audience up. And then when the audience grab a hold to it, they be like, dang, it's a whole bunch of okay, you got people like you know what I'm saying, OG Murder, you got people like Real Life TV that be exposing some of these bloggers out here that be false narratives, making plays, running plays and stuff. Right here is just the facts. Right here is just the facts. A lawyer giving you the facts on the Little Dirk case, and we gonna see what the lawyers say. How do Little Dirk got a chance to come out from under this, and do he got a chance?
Stayed. Those were booked with a credit card under Lil Durk's name. Kayvon Grant was alleged to have supplied the weapons in question at that particular hotel. He went to get the ski masks. Those were apparently paid for in cash. You have the rental cars, right, that Kayvon Grant ended up getting. So he gets the white BMW, the white Infinity. There's surveillance video, right, that captures these two cars, the BMW, the Infinity, following the black Escalade that Quadrando was in, and obviously they end up at the gate.
Hey, I ain't even really gonna lie. So if any college students do see this, come across the video, watch the video, you feel what I'm saying? Like you gotta see right here. You see black excellence right there. So maybe like other people could see yourself beyond being, you know what I'm saying, want to be a star in a light, that you can be a star and be a lawyer. You feel what I'm saying? Like the world is coming to when you got a social media platform and you got a lawyer who could get on social media platform. He already a lawyer, so he get money, right? But he also can become his own star right here. YouTube, Jamal Casey breaking down the Little Dirk case. Let's get back into the content.
One of the other things, I'm sure you guys, you obviously know this, but just the significance of this may end up being lost on you, or may have been lost on you, where he's saying, listen, don't book no flights under no names involved with me. So that's two things.
I'm sorry, I gotta stop that. Don't book no. Hey man, that's like, why are you even talking about that type of stuff on the phone? You feel what I'm saying? That type of stuff. It's like you was. Come on, man. Technology has advanced so far. You got AI. You got all these scams out here in this world. America just turned into a scam nation, and you want to talk on the phone because you think a person ain't listen to, man, come on, man. You, come on, man. You supposed to be using the phone at one reason. Otherwise, bro, me in my garage in the back, or let's go meet up at the park. Let's go meet somewhere where we don't normally meet and cold talk. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not talking on the phone to you. You feel what I'm saying? But hey, we make our decisions. Let's jump back into the content.
Right? One, that text demonstrates that he had knowledge of the flights, right? Because, Dirk didn't fly with these guys. He ends up flying private to get to California. But he says, obviously don't book the flights under no names of people involved with me. So that shows that you have knowledge that these flights are taking place. The other thing has to do with what's called consciousness of guilt. So in that text, he is doing what he can to disassociate himself with this flight, and therefore disassociate himself with the people that are involved. in this alleged contract killing. So, Lil Durk obviously is not in any way alleged to have pulled the trigger, right? The government knows that he was not involved in that at all. In fact, there were, a couple Chicago gangsters that were, alleged to have carried out this attempted hit, right? And so the issue is that,
Hey,
and based on
hey man, that man said a couple of Chicago gangsters, a couple of Chicago went somewhere and carried out a hit. Hey, I'm not even gonna lie. See, some people be thinking that we be tweaking sometimes. You feel what I'm saying? But if you get somebody out here, if you got somebody out here that's murdering people, dumping them in garbage cans, murdering females, raping them, dumping them in garbage cans. You feel what I'm saying? Moving within the city. Why would you think one of these guys won't come and get you outside the city? It just depends on what type of guy you messing with. Back in the day, it used to be structured. People used to listen to leadership, right? But once that leadership go and once that money start leaving up out the city, you feel what I'm saying? Start going because all the big people get locked up and stuff. So and get caught up in some conspiracy cases and just get up out and get killed. You feel what I'm saying? So now you break down society, all the little people that was up under them that had to maneuver and did not have no structure, had no leadership, had no had no plugs, and then once it got down to people getting the plug, it's like a free for all. You feel what I'm saying? So if you if you on that type of life, at least you have to say to yourself, you know what you doing, stay loyal, stay down. To whoever you loyal to, you gotta stay down if you know what you doing. Or if you feel like stuff get too hot, get up out the situation. You feel what I'm saying? And leave. And they should, if they your homies, they should let you go. But some people feel like, hey, he know too much. I ain't finna let him go. But you making that choice. And then you just go bring down the whole thing by just just opening your mouth. Now, it's certain situations that goes with this. It's certain situations apply, man. If you finna bring down somebody that had a whole organization running, the whole thing going where it was like feeding a lot of people and you know what I'm saying, y'all might have did things, but you put in the work and you built that right out of what you didn't have. And you bring the whole thing down just by opening your mouth. Sometimes, man, you just gotta face what you did. You know what you was doing. Man, that's how back into the content, man.
on the allegations, Lil Durk is the one who basically orchestrated this all, right? And so you're going to have layers, right? So they have Kayvon Grant allegedly is the one who, handling logistics and payment. He obviously also flew, private from Miami, booking flights, booking hotels, renting cars. And so you have these layers, right, between Dirk and the actual shooters. And realistically, that you've separated yourself from the actual
Chicago in the
shooting.
building.
Where this ends up falling apart is when you have somebody who ends up cooperating with the government. We're going to get to that in a little bit. But let's talk about the win that Dirk Banks and his legal team scored recently. And this has to do with
Hey man, this sound like some GTA stuff, don't it, man? You gotta just think about it, man. You ever go on GTA, man? You got all the business, you're doing all that. You should. Hey man, like your life is not a game. for sure. Your life ain't a game, man. You can't play your life like a game. You get up there, if you get up there and get the money, and if you never learn financial literacy or something like that, that mean guess what? You got the money, you got all the time to read, train yourself, to develop yourself, to become another person, get more information and more knowledge, to become a better person, or do something extra to create another stream of income. You gotta be a person that gotta do that instead of thinking backwards like I'm gonna involve my stuff in some. I'm gonna go back and buy a pack and give it to the block. Yeah, you could do that, but how about go create a job and go hire all the homies on the block? You feel what I'm saying? Go create a grocery store and hire all the homies on the block. You feel what I'm saying? That's what we need more than anything. You feel what I'm saying? So your mindset gotta change and sit and shift, man. So let's hop back into the content.
With this indictment, right? So the subject of this particular indictment is the shooting of, and the attempted killing of Quando Rondo, and obviously hitting and killing Quando Rondo's cousin. That's the indictment, right? And again, Lil Durk is alleged to have put the hit out, offered a bounty, orchestrated essentially from the top this whole thing.
Allegedly.
What they wanted to do was add, there was a shooting, a 2019 shooting in Atlanta, and a 2022 actual murder in Chicago, right? And so basically, what the government wanted to allege, or what they do allege, and join in this particular indictment, is that OTF, it's acknowledged that it is a record label, right?
Hey, see this the part where the feds was trying to play games. You know what I'm saying? They ain't had information on something else, then they try to throw in another case like, oh, we gonna charge you with this murder, and it was like, uh, I'm steady trying to hit you because I really don't really got nothing on you until I get somebody to flip on you, and then the pressure is to steady get somebody to flip. With that, man, you never know, man. When they sent to the jail, put them in cells, they probably put people in the cell to get them to talking about it, get them to talk about the situation or anything, man. You never know what the feds might do. You feel what I'm saying? Or the tricks they might play, cause they go get their information, their information hub.
Record label. There are other artists, but that it's also functioning as a criminal enterprise. And so we've seen this language in the past. We saw it with, R. Kelly, right? So they allege that, while he ran this or had this record label, he was also using it in order to recruit little girls and do his thing with them, right? We also saw the same type of allegation in the racketeering charges against Puff, right? So they allege that, hey, Bad Boy obviously is a record label, but then they also tried to flip that into him using that for human trafficking. It was a complete overstretch in that case, but in this situation, again, we have, legit murders and attempted murders. So you could see why the government would want to join those alleged offenses with this one, right? So if you have a guy who's being accused of, essentially masterminding, putting a hit out on, a rival rapper, then if he is also responsible for orchestrating a shooting that took place in 2019 in Atlanta, and then an actual murder that took
Chicago
place
in
in
the
2022
building.
in Chicago, then that's obviously going to strengthen the case, because the jury would tend to believe, all right, well, if he did this in 2019 and did this in 2022, then we wouldn't put it past him, right, to put this hit out in this particular case, right? And so, but the judge, because the government didn't put this information out and didn't file this what they call superseding indictment until 3 months prior to the trial date, and that is extremely late in the game to be superseding your indictment, or in other words, filing new charges and allegations, and basically all of the evidence and discovery that would come along with that, right? So, I mean, in a case like this, it with just the one, there would be an overwhelming amount of evidence between pictures, if there's any wiretap conversations, surveillance videos, recorded interview statements, agent reports for just one, but let alone two more 3 months before trial. That is, it's just improper. And the judge was right in shutting that down. I'm glad that he made the proper ruling in that. That really was the only just ruling. It also
See, you can't beat the judge, man. Sometimes, man, if you don't got the judge, sometimes the judge, that's all you got hope in court. If the judge really a fair judge, if he really got a heart and he got some humanity and he know that, hey, y'all doing this wrong, blase Skippy, is over with. You feel what I'm saying? So I didn't came around. I didn't yeah, man. That's the only way you're gonna get a fair if the judge is honest, an honest person. Otherwise, if they mostly go with the police officers or go, you know they got their back. You know what I'm saying? That's the corrupt system. That's why people just be getting locked up easy. You feel what I'm saying? But luckily in that case, the judge didn't go for the supersede. So, you know what I'm saying? They can't bring up them cases. You feel what I'm saying? So, this is the professional overview of Dirk Banks' Fed case from a lawyer, not from a blogger. So you know he going to get his information, doing his research, because when you reporting something, you want to report the facts. You feel me? There's a lot of bloggers out here that just blow stuff because they want you to click and y'all go over to their page and double tap their screens and like their content, and their content be fake. You got a lot of people out here exposing the clickbait and y'all just falling for the story. Like y'all know it's content and y'all liking it, but they like throwing false allegations on people. You see that boy Nolan Wells? You see him? You see him? You see him right there? They muddied his case up so much that people just talking so much and ain't doing no real research, that you had to have a person to come out and kind of like pop out of retirement and do research. But you gonna sit up there and tell me you gonna come on my channel and you not gonna throw no love on the live. You not gonna put no like on the screen. Well, I guess some of us could be dumbed down, but at least you want to know. I'm not saying you gotta be super smart or nothing like that, but you want to have common sense. Let's get back to the content.
So wouldn't be a remedy to extend the trial date, because Dirk and his co-defendants, they have a right to a speedy trial. They have a right to have their trial on the date that's set, unless there's good cause to move that out, and that wouldn't constitute.
When you dealing with real people in life, when you dealing with their life in real life, this how you supposed to report on them and not be fake and not be phony. We got too many fake, phony people out here in the world. You feel what I'm saying? I already know that, but it's all gravy though. We still gonna progress because there's nothing but progression over here, for sure. Let's get back into the content.
To good cause. At the end of the day, they had years, right? They had years to put this together. And if they were going to join those in this particular indictment, they could have done so. They chose not to. And so now you're not going to do it. just 3 months before trial. So that was a good call by the judge. But even with that said, I would say that that is a monumental victory in this particular case, right? You do not want, while your client is facing a murder for hire charge, you don't want there to be allegations regarding a separate 2019 shooting and a separate 2022 murder while you're, fighting this particular case. So in that sense, it is very much a victory. But just because they're not joined in this indictment, and meaning that the jury cannot hear any information about 2019 and 2022, right? They can't hear anything about that. But those cases don't just go away, right? So if he beats this case,
This was put up a
which
day
is
ago
highly
for your
questionable
fake
whether that's
naysayers
even
and the people
possible,
that's hopping
but if he
in out that
does,
chat. They ain't
then he's
showing no
still got,
love.
these other cases to deal with. Those don't just go away. And that is, I'd say, problematic for him. The other thing that we're dealing with is rap lyrics on trial again. So we just talked the other day about the Yella Beezy case and how there was a motion hearing in which obviously the prosecution in that case is trying, again, that's the murder of Mo 3. They're trying to admit some of the lyrics because they are saying that it is more like a confession or a memorialization of criminal activity versus mere artistic expression, right? And so we're dealing with the same thing here in this case. And so, just the reaction to that would be, listen, I mean, you can make your music as dangerous as you want to. You can shoot up all the people, you could sell all the drugs, you could get it off the boat from Pablo Escobar himself, right? But if you are writing lyrics that line up with actual crimes committed, then you really run the risk of having those lyrics used in court against you. So, you just got to be smart with not only what you do, you probably shouldn't be committing crimes, but if you're committing crimes, you shouldn't write rhymes about them that almost end up reading like a police interrogation where you're admitting to having committed the crime or you're implicating the people.
Who don't know that? Who don't know that? I guess a lot of people don't know that because they still doing it. I just think that people who got the fan bases that they do now, you feel what I'm saying? They even if they switch up their music and do something more positive, I don't think they fan base gonna leave them. I think they fan base gonna rock with them. Whoever rock with them, they might shed a couple of little people, but they still gonna have their fan base who gonna rock with them. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's one thing about people. They like the fake stuff. They might leave because they like the fake stuff, man. They like the phony stuff. They like the stuff that get you hurt, taken off the map. You feel what I'm saying? Like some of these people should be getting taken off the mat. They keep on hopping in and out my chat.
Most to you to having done so. So, despite the major victory that Dirk scored against the government, this is the biggest thing that he needs to worry about. Yes, there is a clear motive in terms of getting revenge for King Von's death. Yes, there's a paper trail, right? So we got the credit cards linked to Lil Durk, linked to OTF used for hotels and flights, financial records, there's text messages, there's other evidence that the government is going to use to put this all together. So, yeah, I mean, even from looking at the indictment, they spell out the case, but them spelling out the case in an indictment doesn't tell you exactly how.
If you came here, you seen the little dirt. You seen the little Dirk hashtag, man. These people nutty, man. These people nutty, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Be real, man. Y'all playing games, man. Now I got people that's coming in the chat like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? I see you keep on coming back and forth, hopping in and out. You want to get this information. It's not long. You want to get this information. You feel what I'm saying? It's from a lawyer. It's from a real lawyer. It's not from a blog site or nothing. It's for somebody who, you know what I'm saying, go in and have students and stuff to do the research and stuff like that. So you can have the real knowledge. It's informational. Plus, it's about Lil Durk. I'm from Chicago. This 18Wild. I'm in a building. I'm from Chicago. So I'm just doing a reaction on a lawyer breaking down his Fed case. Not from a blog, because see, these are real people with real lives and real family. And when you go into something that could send them to jail forever, you feel what I'm saying? You have to go with facts and not with people just splurting stuff out on the internet and y'all follow it and y'all know it's cap. Y'all know it's cap. And y'all go up in the screen and y'all double tap the screen and y'all throw a like on it and y'all cap. This a cap nation. If you went up in there and you threw a like on the screen, dude, and it turned out to be false, you cap. Just like these two cap people that wear caps. Wish I could catch some hats. Come on, let's roll now. Come on, let's roll now. Let's get back into the content, bro.
A clear motive in terms of getting revenge for King Von's death. Yes, there's a paper trail, right? So we got the credit cards linked to Lil Durk,
Hold
linked
on,
to
I went back
OTF
to.
used for hotels and flights, financial records, there's text messages, there's other evidence that the government is going to use to put this all together. So, yeah, I mean, even from looking at the indictment, they spell out the case, but them spelling out the case in an indictment doesn't tell you exactly how they plan to present their evidence, right? You can kind of glean from what they're saying how they will go about doing so, and the defense team
maybe this for like
has
little
a much
nerdies.
better understanding because they've
I'm
actually
used to
had the
watching
luxury of going through all the
documentaries
police
and
reports
stuff
and
like that.
evidence.
So you know what I'm
At a
saying.
trial, it's not like it's going to be a
Man,
surprise
show some love, man. Double
what the
tap the
government
screen, man.
is
Throw a like on the
presenting to the
live,
jury,
man.
right? So they're gonna know. But the
Double
issue
tap the
in
screen
terms
one
of
time.
financial records telling you, all right, tell you where the money moved from this place to this place, right?
I ain't gonna
Surveillance
beg
footage
you,
tells
but
you that there
you
was
coming up
clearly a
in
target,
here,
and they
keep
were
on
clearly
watching.
following that target. None of these things actually put you in the room when these discussions are being had. None of these things put you in the room to actually hear what is said by Dirk and what's said by whoever responded to him. What was said in terms of what they were going to do,
right.
why they were going to do it,
exactly.
who's going to get paid for what, and how it's going.
Exactamundo, right there. See, I hope like people that was even all the bloggers that kind of be like, you feel what I'm saying, man? It's over with for him. It's over with for him. You feel what I'm saying, man? Don't do that. Sometimes, man, you just gotta be quiet and let the stuff play out and see what happens. You feel what I'm saying? And stop just running your mouth. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. And y'all know the truth. Since Lil Durk been in jail, the Chicago scene been dead. Dead. Let's get back to the content.
To go down. The people who do, and I can guarantee you it's people, it's plural, it's not just one person, there are going to be cooperating witnesses. And cooperating witnesses, aka snitches, are the most devastating thing you can have in a case. Reason being is they were there for all of the play-by-play. They were there. They were privy to the conversations. They took part in them.
See? Yeah. See? Yeah. Bring down the whole organization, man. Just like forget it, man. Oof. Yeah, man. I got some stuff, man. I just don't. Me personally, I be wanting to say stuff sometimes and tell stories sometimes. But you feel what I'm saying? I don't like digging into the past. I don't like dwelling into the past because you feel me. Just my past, like I don't like dwelling into that. Cause yeah, but you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you don't want to glorify your past because you don't want to go back to it because you know like all that shit was nonsense. All that stuff was really nonsense. So you don't want to dwell on it. And I feel like if Lil Durk didn't dwell on some of the stuff that was happening in Chicago, he could have got past that and kept focused on what he was actually doing and just use everything that he had in his head towards his music. You feel what I'm saying? Like, like something just happened that upset me. I'm finna go in the studio. I'm finna make like 10 tracks. 10 tracks. I'm finna kill him, get a couple of million. I'm finna kill him, get a couple of million. Then I'm finna go back. I'm finna go help out my people. I'm finna go donate. I'm finna go put money in their hands. You feel what I'm saying? Like, instead of like throwing his career away, allegedly, if he did do it. But like the man said, the snitches is the people that has the power in their hand because they was in those rooms. They was in those rooms with it, and only thing they gotta do is tie the conversations in. They know the conversations, but they don't know the context because but they got the people that was in those rooms. You feel what I'm saying? And if them people just take responsibility for what they did and don't put Little Dirk in it, that would be a victory for him. You feel what I'm saying? But it's people always trying to say they own it. And they know they was up out there. They was the ones that actually going out there to do it. And then and then, like, even I said, man, do what y'all gotta do. And then y'all go out there and do it sloppy. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Y'all go out there and do it sloppy as hell. I said, if I just said, man, go out there and do what y'all gotta do. But y'all go out there and do it sloppy, man, that's really on y'all. Cause you gangsters anyway, you doing it, or you really not, and this is something that you just thought you could get away with and it backfired on you. Ooh, man. But let's get back into this content, man.
Conversations, right? This is, if think about the space that Lil Durk was in, right? At that level, if you were around him, then you're in the inner circle. This is a rich man with all the resources in the world. Obviously, he's famous. So it's going to be a select few who's able to be around him, which makes that testimony extremely dangerous and powerful. Trust me, his defense team will have an opportunity to have their field day with these snitches, right? They'll be able to emphasize the fact that, perhaps they themselves might be facing life in prison, if not hefty prison sentences. And in exchange for their testimony, they'll get significantly less. And that could still be years. I mean, you could still end up having to do 3, 4, 5 years as part of your agreement, or it could be no time, just depending on like.
See, this is real facts. Real facts. Real facts. You see that day with that Jamal Kersey. I'm sorry I pronounced your name wrong, brother. He's a criminal defense attorney. Criminal defense attorney. You feel what I'm saying? This is black excellence right here. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This somebody that you know what I'm saying going through the proper things. And see, we need more people like him. See, when you got more people like you inside the system, defending the system, and being righteous. Cause I know a lot of righteous brothers, man. Being righteous and not being a jerk, not being an ass, but being a righteous brother to be able to discern something and judge something and do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta go off the facts. The facts. Let's get back into the content.
stuff. But suffice it to say, if you tell, you are getting less time than if you were just indicted, got found guilty, and were sentenced after trial, right? So you clearly have an incentive to cooperate with the government and say what the government wants you to say, right?
Whoa, oh, oh, oh. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. What's up? What's up? What's up, man? Y'all see y'all coming up in here, man. Y'all whack, man. Man, I ain't even sweating no more, man. Y'all coming up here, man. Y'all coming up here, double tap that screen, man. Put some love on the line, man. You got your ball Kersey with the facts. He's a criminal defense lawyer. I'm giving it to the facts, the facts. You feel me? I'm from Chicago. This 18Wild in the building. In the building. This 18Wild in the building. You feel me? From Chicago. And I'm doing a reaction. Jamal Casey on the facts of the Little Dirt case. You feel what I'm saying? He's a criminal defense lawyer. This is not some blogger. When you're dealing with real people life, when you're dealing with real people life, you feel what I'm saying? When you're dealing with real people life, you can't be messing around, man. You can't be just spreading rumors and stuff, man. You feel what I'm saying? You got to go with the facts. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's a real human being. You feel what I'm saying? You destroy your person with rumors and lies. You feel what I'm saying? So you got to be careful what you put out here. And I know a lot of bloggers put a lot of stuff on Lil Durk and try to investigate on Lil Durk. I'm from Chicago. I ain't investigating Lil Durk. I ain't doing none of that. I'm just the brother caught up in a joint in the feds, and you feel what I'm saying? I know his family praying for him to come home. You feel what I'm saying? And if he did do something, he got to repent for those sins, man. You feel what I'm saying? Him alone, he got to face that. He got to face that. You could take it back. You could put it up. I don't care. But he got to face that. You know what I'm saying? So, man, we going to jump back into the content.
When the person is testifying, and again, they're given the play by play, they lived through it, and when the evidence lines up with what it is that they're saying, then you can call them out all you want to about all the incentive that they have to, take the stand, right? You can say, hey, man, you can't wait to get home and make love to your lady. You want to be able to kiss your baby. You want your mama's, mac and cheese and greens at Thanksgiving. Yeah, sure. Everybody wants to be able to come home early, but that doesn't mean that you're lying about what it is that you experience. It's almost like if you worked at a supermarket and there's a big sale on tomatoes, somehow they got an extra shipment of tomatoes, they need to push these tomatoes, and the store manager is talking, all right, if you see somebody in the produce section, make sure you point them towards the tomatoes, right? You might have a whole meeting about it. We got all these tomatoes, we got to move these tomatoes. You might want to recommend that people start making fresh homemade pasta sauce, right? if you ended up in a situation where you had to detail why you were pushing the tomatoes that week, you'd be able to go back to the back room and the manager is telling you, we're going to be pushing tomatoes. This is why we're pushing tomatoes. This is what you're going to say, right? You would be able to just rattle that off because that was your life. And then you carried it out. You saw a lady pushing her cart and say, hey, you might want to grab some tomatoes. These are the best tomatoes you've ever had in your life, right? You know, it's a silly example, but it's just a point of, if you experienced an event, then you're just getting on the stand and you're telling what you saw and what you heard. That's what he has to deal with. And I'll just tell you, it's an interesting thing when you have cooperating witnesses, right? Because again, these were your people, right? They generally wouldn't be in a position to be able to testify.
Hey, you see the crab in the barrel mentality? That's what hey, you see that? You see that crab in the, and we got it right now. We got it right now. You feel what I'm saying? With the people that's hopping in and out to check, we got it right now. So you see the crab in the barrel mentality that we people have, that we gonna pull each other down. We can't support each other in nothing we do, not even in criminal activity. It's an illusion. So if you think somebody out there really riding for you, ain't nobody really out there riding for you for real. You could be riding with them all day long and be showing them love all day long, but is they really riding for you? No, they not really riding for you. And you have to accept that. You feel what I'm saying? But don't jeopardize yourself, because them people ain't really riding for you. All y'all doing the same thing. And y'all got an agreement. The shut up, to be quiet. Don't let nothing go past these rooms. That's why we can't make it nowhere, because it's not no loyalty. I say something to you, you let it out, because you miss Chatty Patty. And that's how every person is brought down. You better off being by yourself. For sure. You better be by yourself. Cause when you get that camaraderie and you think that love is not gonna be that love, it's not gonna be that real love. Like if that was my brother and I was taking up for my brother. I mean, I was just watching the shot and the ending. You know what I'm saying, on the shot. If y'all watched that episode, you feel what I'm saying. Reg was like, I'm gonna go to jail. You feel what I'm saying? He took the weight. He took the weight of the murder. You feel what I'm saying? That's because that was his brother, Trig, his brother. So he took the weight. You feel what I'm saying? He took the weight. But you think somebody gonna do that out here? No, because it's crabs in the barrel. Man, let's get back to, man, Jamal Kersey talking about Little Dirk Fed case. Man, the facts. Not playing around with a person's life, but just talking the facts.
In the trenches with you, if they weren't in the meetings, if they weren't at the club, if they weren't at the dinner spot, if they weren't on the beach with you, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, but at the end of the day, they're privy to the conversations, they were part of them, they might have contributed to them, they know what ended up going down, and they're extremely difficult to overcome, because most of the time they're telling the truth because it is what they lived. So I think at the end of the day, this is a really difficult one for Lil Durk, right? He's got the incentive and the motive to have Quando Rondo killed. He's got, amongst the paper trail, transactions that are linked to his credit cards, his company's credit cards, for these gentlemen to make their way from Chicago to San Diego just a day before this killing takes place. Flights booked, you have the text messages, he's got a slide, right? He's got to do what he's got to do. These cooperating witnesses, we don't know who they are at this point. We'll know at trial, but we don't know who they are at this point. But, they're going to give very detailed testimony, and it's going to be extremely devastating to this defense. But again, he's obviously lawyered up. He's got some very high profile lawyers defending him. But even with that, it's just a really uphill battle that he's facing with this evidence that they're going to have against him. And so again, if he beats this, then he's got these other two cases that he's got to deal with. And so it just is a sad situation. It's unfortunate. I have no idea who Quando Rondo's cousin is, but that's a human being who lost his life, essentially being at the wrong place at the wrong time. And it's absolutely sad to know that somebody senselessly lost their life. And it's unfortunate that Lil Durk didn't apparently have someone in his corner who could be a stronger voice of reason to just have him let this go. You know what I'm saying? I get that he's in pain. I get that,
Hey man,
it's
you sound like you
anger
convicted
provoking.
him already, man. Stop it. Sound like you convicted him already, man.
Somebody took your man away from you. I can completely understand that. But, you really gain nothing. You gain nothing at all by having somebody else killed, right?
Right.
And interestingly enough, it is my understanding
True,
that
true,
like
true.
almost
True,
the
true,
internet
true.
community, like fans and supporters, were it seemed like encouraging that he needed to slide for Vaughn, and I really do wonder how much, if any, that would have had an impact on his decision making. But I wish that there were a voice that were strong enough, and maybe maybe no matter who or what was said to him, he would have done, whatever it is that he was going to do anyway, allegedly. But just to have that voice of reason to be like, yo, I know that you're in pain, but doing anything is not going to bring King Von back. It's not going to make you feel any better. You may think that it will, but it's not the best way to really get revenge, or really, putting revenge aside, the best way to honor your man's life and his legacy and what he meant to you would be by living your life, right? By
Living your life, staying sucker free from suckers. You feel me? From suckers, like you see, from suckers, staying sucker free from suckers, and man, competing with yourself. You feel what I'm saying? Competing with yourself. That's the main thing, man. I ain't trying to compete with nobody else, trying to be jealous of nobody else, ain't worried about nobody else, what they doing, what they got in their pockets, or none of that. You feel what I'm saying? None of that stuff. You feel what I'm saying? I just worry about myself and worry about my family.
experiencing all the amazing things that you have the opportunity to do despite, where you came from. But, that obviously didn't happen, and here we are. But I just think it's unfortunate. And so let me know what you think. Have you been following this case? How do you see this thing going down? Do you think Lil Durk has a chance at beating this case, or do you think it's pretty much a done deal and he's looking at the rest of his life in a prison cell? Let me know your thoughts below. I hope you got something out.
That was Jamal Kersey with the breakdown of the Little Dirt case. You feel me? Some just giving out the facts, the little facts of the case. You know what I'm saying? Breaking it down. He a criminal defense lawyer. Um, Go check out his YouTube channel. Um,
This video. If you did, let me.
right there. Go check out his YouTube channel. Go subscribe. Go subscribe, like, comment. He breaking down the Little Dirt case because, like I said, when you doing these reports on real people and you talking about their life, you just remember that they real human beings. They got family, they got people that love them, and they got people that go the distance and go the mile for them. So it is what it is. This 18 wow. This is a pow, pow, pow. This 18 wow with another 18 wow reactions. It is what it is. I hope Lil Durk come out from under it. I hope he could enjoy his family again. You know what I'm saying? Jump back in the music scene and worry about the music. Worry about elevating and tone and do some stuff for your city that think that you did so much trauma. You feel what I'm saying? People know you not the only person that's at fault. If it was allegedly, so come out from under it. Take care of your family. Progress. This is 18 Wow coming to you with another 18 Wow reaction. I'm out of here.